We celebrate our nation, our future, Uganda, and believe in the beautiful game of football in Uganda. We believe in our mother body. Fufa, Fufa. When the boys and girls aspire to become stars, of the Uganda queens and the crested queens and the sun queens. Come on, our fans, our gallant fans, our sponsors, urge your government to support the beautiful game. One tribe, one family, one religion, one nation. It is our game, it's our country, it's our joy, it's our nation. The past and present stars, the fallen and living heroes, the coaches and referees, the players and me. One tribe, one family, one religion, one nation. It is our game, it's our country, it's our joy, it's our nation.
Hello, a very fantastic evening to you, wherever you're watching us live from. This is Sunrise TV, and it's the biggest evening sports deck show. We do have got in Western, we do have got in Arua, we do have got in Uganda. Wherever you're catching us live from, let's say thank you so much for being part of us, and it's really a very big thing that you guys always giving us that mileage and the vibe to see that we always give you the best when it comes to sports. My name is Snr GEROH, the host of the show. I'm alone today for the show, and I'll be driving you through different sporting stories. Remember, we do have a couple of them actually making headlines ranging from local to national and then from international. We shall be discussing international transfers. Remember, we shall be going club to club. That's what we shall be doing in here for you. Remember, this show is being sponsored by Sabiri Rama Global Ventures Limited. They are the only sole sponsor of this show. Remember, they are the biggest within town, and they always give us the capital to see that all the activities of the sports desk show are kind of run smoothly. Remember, they deal in various activities. They deal in bids, they deal in the supply of goods, construction, anything that you feel like needs to be actually served with. Sabiri Rama Global Ventures Limited is always there to see that your activities are catered. Just you have to look for the offices of Sabiri Rama Global Ventures Limited within town. You will be sorted with everything. Everything, I'm telling you, the business there is real, and everyone is really enjoying the services that Sabiri Rama is offering to them. Remember, so many sports stories are making headlines here actually in Uganda. Then let's begin from home. We shall be talking about the bragging rights between St. Charles Luanga of Koboko up against St. John's College Umbati. Who won it? is also actually what I'll be telling you shortly after here. And then Medical Calvary football for the first time being invited actually to go and play in what we call a pre-season tournament down in Ethiopia. One of the biggest things for the club. I think that's something for pre-season to be talking about shortly. And then internationally, we shall be talking about Pep Guardiola's future with Manchester City. Remember, he is left with 2 years contract to stay at Manchester City, and he said that he will quit Manchester City and he wants to take a sabbatical leave. How many years of it? I'll be telling you that one shortly. Remember, he has said that he wants to be off football for 15 years. This is incredible from a manager who has done a lot of things in there. And nationally here, Ghana Queens have officially unveiled jersey numbers for the CHAN players. Who the players are and which players will be done which number, I'll be telling that one shortly. Remember, the CHAN is set to kick off very soon next month, and we might bring for you the live coverage of the games here live on Sunrise TV. Remember, tomorrow is the final day of the primary school ball games here in Ineresting City. We shall be relaying for you that game live here on Sunrise TV. Don't move any inch away because you are here served with everything that you need in the game of sports. Let's begin from home, and we'll start it all with what has happened actually over the weekend down in Koboko. Remember, St. Charles Luanga actually did host a team in the names of St. John's College Ombati in what we call the round of 32 in FIFA TV games in there. It was really a tantalizing game between the two actual schools. These are the biggest schools that we do have got in West Nile, and they are really doing extremely very well when it comes to football and academics in there. But the bragging rights for the two brotherhood affairs has been won by one of the giant schools that we do have got in Koboko. That's St. Charles Luanga of Koboko, managing to beat a school in the names of St. John's College Ombati by a goal to nil. Remember, that goal was scored in the 25th minute, and it was Palmer who scored a tantalizing goal. I'm telling you, it was a crazy goal from the youngster, and the crowd in Koboko was really massive to see that they really needed to push this team forward, to see that where they stopped last season is not supposed to be the area where they're supposed to stop actually this season around. And the FIFA TV games come with a lot of opportunities for some of these students. Remember, you can be picked on basket to go and do your course actually at any level that you prefer. There are two students who have already been picked. There are those who are doing law. They do there are those who are doing other sets of actual courses. Really interesting that they are St. John's College Umbati and Luanga have got a second phase affair to play down here in Arua, and it will take place here at St. John's College Umbati Playground. And we shall broadcast for that game live here on our TV screens in here. It will be over the weekend. Don't move any inch because this is where you need to see the beauty of the talent that we do have got in Western. And Luanga and Sats prepared very well for this game. Remember, they did give hard time for schools when the schools were playing in what we call the zonal leagues in Marata. I'm telling you, they were less, but they really never disappointed, and fans were really behind this school. That's St. Charles Luanga of Koboko. Really have got a great player, talented players. I'm telling you, Palmer was really outstanding in there. And the fans of the school, the OBs of the school were really massive, and the atmosphere in Koboko was really very massive. Those who missed that opportunity probably need to actually get hooked to Sunrise TV and make it in person at the St. John's College Ombati, whereby the second leg will be taking place between these two schools. Remember, is Olema Hamza, who is at the helm of St. John's College Ombati, and Onama Bosco, who is at the helm of a school in the names of St. Charles Luanga of Koboko. Really good talented coaches, and the game approach was really excellent. Onama Bosco, as usual, giving high times for schools here within West Nile. And we've seen him trying that against Mvara Senior Secondary School. He tried that one against St. John's College Umbati. Now, this is where bragging rights is picked, and it will never be a surprise with the performance that St. Charles Luanga exhibited down in Koboko. It was really amazing to watch the boys, and really, really amazing to see that the OBs have to promise something for these players. Both St. Charles Luanga and St. John's College Umbati needs to appreciate these OBs. I mean, the students, to see that they need to do their best to see that they take the school to the next level. Either Umbati or Luanga, regardless of what the outcome of the second phase game. Remember, Luanga has got one goal advantage over Umbati. That one is really crucial in the game of football. And what is all impressive is that Luanga just needs to come here, pick a draw, simple. They will be into the next round. That's 16. Remember, they were rejected last season in the quarterfinals. That was St. Charles Luanga. But Ombati has never gone past the round of 32. This is not an opportunity for St. John's College Ombati. It is not going to be an interesting affair. And we are yet going to see how these two schools will be assembling. And in Koboko, the atmosphere was okay, the security was okay. Are we seeing the same that happened in Koboko happening here in Arua? We all know St. John's College Umbati, the students are always very chaotic. The OBs, the management of the school, need to come on board to see that there is calm actually at the pitch. No issues of hooliganism. Remember, these games are here to unite us, and we will be very glad to see that all the schools here make amends. Any school that goes in here will be behind that school, and Western is known of giving support and that morale to that school that will be going forth, regardless. So it is going to be an interesting affair. No doubt about this school's potential. Luanga has got the potential of going through. Umbati as well has got the potential of going through. What you just have to do is stay hooked over the weekend, which I'll be bringing for you the live commentary of that game of actually between Umbati up against Luanga in there. They have got big OBs. Papito Devegan is one of the OBs of St. Charles, actually St. John's College Umbati. Zai Nelson is one of them, directed by Kuban Noels of this world. Luanga has got a couple of them. Erema Sebe is one of them. We do have Walter Bazagir is one of them. So any of these fans here, or any of these OBs, probably before that game, we shall be bringing actually them here to come and give us their experience of being an OB of that school. Really amazing to see that this school will be crashing again in the second phase. So let's leave that on and that and talk about one of the biggest things happening in Uganda. Actually, generally here in Arua, that's still the ball games too. I mean, the primary school games, they're ongoing. And the quarterfinals were played today. Tomorrow will be the semi-finals, and the finals will be tomorrow. Which schools will be crashing tomorrow? Just have to stay hooked to Saturday TV. Shall be bringing for the live comment of that game here. Remember, the games are played down in Mfara. The other games that are played at Salim Saleh, those ones that are played at Ruakwa PTC grounds, you can call it Bishop grounds. So, really amazing to see the young talents. But the unfortunate bit here is that most of these pupils are played barefooted. I don't know what the school management is doing. I don't know what the parents of these students are doing. Really, it really affects my feelings about them. And these are young guys that have got talent. If you watch these young guys, I'm telling you, they have got the brain for football, and they've gone through some level of preparation. So I thought that was kind of enough. Remember, second term started way back, and the pupils are left with near 1 month to go back to back home to see that they need to go and rest. So after all this, you can't afford to buy even a fair play boot for your kids. The school cannot even afford to buy that. Really unfortunate. I think we really needed to value these kids. We really needed to value the talent of these kids. What they offer for your school, really needed to value that, because UP is there. What is the use of this money at school, really? So many things to talk about in here. But all in all, it was really something that touches my attention, and I thought it very well I needed to air it out, because these pupils really have got the talent when it comes to football. In there, let's talk about before we talk about Calvary Football Club. Let's first talk about the Chan team that has been confirmed actually in Uganda. Who are the players that will be playing in the Chan tournaments? Remember, it's Uganda, Kenya, and Tanzania who are co-hosting this. And Uganda has already summoned its players already. The final squad has been revealed by Uganda Cranes. And remember, it's Modi Buwakaso and Fred Muhumuza who are the co-coaches heading this team of Uganda Cranes. And it's really very amazing that these are the young guys that we have got in Uganda, and they've been spearheading actually Uganda, and they've been among players in Uganda. And Fred Muhumuza has been with the Vipers, and Modi Buwakaso has been working closely with AC Villa before he was sacked by AC Villa. And Fred Muhumuza is still part of the project at St. Mary's Standard Vipers. So, are they going to click very well with their core coaching ideology? Are they going to work to the perfect for Uganda Cranes? Remember, Uganda will be playing the games here at home. The fan base will be there for the team. The morale will be there for the team. The government support will be there for the team. The FIFA support will be there for the team. So, what will you gonna do to see that they really needed to do something very tangible in this competition? Playing actually this tournament at your home means a lot. You really needed to do your air to see that you perform to the best. Fans are expecting a lot from you. Clubs are actually other clubs are watching you continentally, internationally, even within the country. Clubs are watching. This is where big opportunity can hit you. This is where you can get a lucrative deal outside the country. So this is where we need players really need to do their best. Coaches really needed to do their best. This way you can be spotted somewhere. So it will be a tantalizing affair within the squad of Uganda Cranes. So Molly Brokaso and Fred Mkumut have got a lot to do. They have to work their chemistry very well to see that this team really needed to go far in terms of the group stages. I will be telling you in which group Uganda will be playing in shortly after unveiling to you the dozen numbers and the squad after that the Cranes team has kind of revealed to us. Remember, the goalkeepers are so many in there. Let's talk about the goalkeepers. I will be going area to area or position to position. In the goalkeeping area, do have Dennis Chigundu, who plays for Vipers Football Club. He'll be done it just number 1 for Uganda Cranes in the 10 competitions. Then the second goalkeeper that has been called or retained is Joel Mutakubwa, who plays for Bull Football Club. He'll be done it just number 18. Then we have Christopher Kusima, who plays for Chichara Football Club. He'll be done in just number 19 for Uganda Cranes in the Chan tournament. These are really actually goalkeepers who really did their best in the legendary times Ghana Premier League. No doubt about that. Dennis Chigundu with Vipers Football Club, I think here he may get a nod to start the games for Uganda Cranes, simply because Freddie Mhumuza worked with him, and this is where he will be getting that. He'll be getting that mileage of starting up actually on top over Joel Mutakubwa or as Christopher Kusima, because he has got that chemistry already. His strength, his weakness has been known, always exposed by Freddie Mhumuza already at Vipers Football Club, and Molly Brokaso working with the SC Villa. No goalkeeper has been someone from his team. That clearly says that he has got that upper hand. Remember, it's Freddie Mhumuza who has got the high authority in this actual tournament over Molly Brokaso. Remember, Molly Brokaso is supposed to be at the side of him. So it will be really interesting to see. Then the defenders include Arnold Odong, who plays for SC Villa. He'll be done in just number 2. Then Nicholas Wamere, who plays for Bull Football Club, will be done in just number 3. Gideon Odong, who plays for Neck Football Club, will be done in just number 4. Then we have got Herbert Atai, who plays for KCCA, will be done in just number 5. Rogers Torats, who plays for Vipers Football Club, will be done in just number 13 for Ghana Cranes. Lazaro Muhindo, who plays for KCCA, and he has been a new recruit for KCCA, will be done in just number 15. Hilary Mukundani, who plays for Vipers Football Club, and he has been so exceptional for Vipers Football Club last season, he will be done in just number 16. Then Gavin Kizito, who plays for KCCA, one of the youngsters that we do have got in the country. No doubt about his actual attributes for KCCA, and I think for the national team, he really needed to copy from there and paste it for the national team. I'm quite sure he will be having an exceptional game for Uganda Cranes. That's Gavin Kizito for you. Even Henry Mukuntani has really been so amazing. Then we talk about Arnold Odog for AC Villa. Here comes the opportunity for him. With the Molly Brokaso in, I'm sure he'll be having a nod. That's starting lineup straight. Playing the names of Arnold Odog. He has got the potentials. And with AC Villa, they finished 6th on the table last season in the Southern Ghana Premier League. Not an easy thing. But what he has offered for AC Villa last season was kind of tremendous. That was the reason why he earned this call up into the Chan team of Uganda. Really amazing. Let's talk about the midfielders. We have Joseph young man Marvin, who plays for Villa, Viper Sports Club, will be done in just number 6. You have Elvis Ngonde, who plays for AC Villa, will be done in just number 8. Patrick Jonah Kakande, who plays for AC Villa, there's no doubt about these players. I'm telling you, they will be having a nod in that midfield setup of Uganda Prince. Alan Okello, as usual, who is the captain of this team, who plays for Vipers Football Club, will be having an upright position in the team of Chan. Remember, for Vipers Football Club, he has been so exceptional, and he is the reason as to why Vipers were crowned champions of the Southern Uganda Premier League last season. Really amazing player to watch, amazing player, and he has also established himself to be one of the regular starters for Uganda Prince. Prior to that, he has been so much into the media talks, into everyone's eye in Uganda. That's a player in the names of Alan Okello for you. You remember, there was a goal that he scored, you may think it's Mo Salah who scored that, really for the national team. I'm telling you, this guy will be amazing to watch. Joel Sendoji, who plays for KCCA, will be done in just number 23. Enoch Sabagala, who plays for Vipers, a new signing for Vipers Football Club. Remember, Vipers signed him from NEC Football Club. He will be done in just number 24. Amazing player. He is the reason as to why Gaddafi Wahab was benched at NEC Football Club. Really amazing player to watch. And this is what I think Uganda Queens will be relying much on. He has got that physical strength in him. He has got that actually passing accuracy in him. He has got that leadership command abilities in him. That's a player in the name of Enoch Sambagala. He is one of the biggest players in this midfield for Uganda Queens, alongside Alan Okello, Patrick Kakande. Really amazing that this team should be at their best. Then, the last on the midfield setup is Abdul Karim Watambala, who plays for Vipers Football Club, will be doing it. That's number 25. Amazing. This is really interesting. I think here credits needs to be given to the technical team who summoned this team in the midfield. These are really players who were up, who were really at the top of their game last season in the domestic league. Remember, these players have been summoned just mainly from the Premier League. No player comes from the big league. No player comes from the regional league, even the 4th division league. Really, this is something that we really needed to have a watch at. Then let's talk about the forwards. Jude Semgabi, who plays for Chitera Football Club, will be done in just number 7. Remember, he has got that potential of also operating from the flanks. That's Jude Semgabi for you. He can play for you centrally. He can play for you in that number 10 role. Even when you bring him to come and play in that number 8 role, he can do for you something very exceptional. That's Jude Semgabi for you. Amazing player. And it will be interesting that he will be spearheading this team of Ghana Queens up front. Remember, he has got that experience already. He has been playing continental football with Chitara Football Club. He has been a regular call-up into the Queens team. Here, he has got that experience already. That exposure is already there. And that atmosphere of playing that top-level football is really very massive with Jude Semugabi. And he has been a subject of talk. Remember, there were reports that Jammus of South Sudan really wanted to sign him, but he turned that down. Of course, he knows the value of this tournament. This is where one of the powerhouses in Africa can spot you, even across. So, Jude Semugabi will be done in just number 7 for Uganda Queens. Ivan Akimesibe, a new recruit for KCCA from URA, will be done in just number 9 for KCCA. For the Queens team. I don't know what that number has been allocated for him at KCCA, but it will be done in just number 9 for Uganda Queens, the TAN tournament. The third forward that has been summoned here or retained is Asraf. Arafat Osama, who plays for KCCA Football Club. A talent to watch. and he has been spearheading that team of KCCA Football Club in the Southern Uganda Premier League. He has been carrying their mantle. The pressure has been on him. Can he live to the billing with the Chan theme? Is the million-dollar question that every Ugandan will be asking. Of course, that Pesa at KCCA Football Club has been immense, and he knows the corners of Nambole. He is not someone who is unfamiliar playing at Mandela National Stadium. He has been a familiar figure playing at Nampole. It will be something to watch. That's a player in the names of Arafat or Sama for you. Then we have Eunice St. Chamo Jr., who plays for Vipers Football Club. He'll be done in just number 12 for the Cranes. And this guy, for Vipers Football Club, him and Alan Okello, they were the reasons as to why Uganda Cranes managed, Team Vipers Football Club managed to clean the Southern Uganda Premier League. If Eunice St. Chamo doesn't score, if he doesn't assist, Alan Okello always raises to the occasion and creates those chances, score those goals. I think that combination is going to work excellently. Eunice St. Chamo, Alan Okello, that combination, just think about it, how it will work for Uganda Cranes. That's chemistry. I think it will be something interesting to watch. For Uganda Cranes in there. Regan Pante, who plays for ST Villa, will be done in just number 14. And Emmanuel Anyama, who plays for KTCA, also a new recruit for KTCA Football Club, will be done in just number 17. Then Safik Nana, who will be playing for Uganda Cranes, will be done in just number 20. This is really an amazing squad that the Chan tournament team has kind of revealed to us, and it will really be impressive that this team is going to do something very tangible for Ghana, for the next one. Here, if they go up to the semi-finals or is to the finals, this is where we really needed to appreciate these players. And these are players who have done their level best for their various clubs. They have been there performing to their best to see that the club finishes where it belongs. And it's not a surprise. It's only that KCCA and Villa, not forgetting a team the names of NEC, are dominating this. It can bring up for you a lot of criticism why other teams have not been players have been picked from other teams. That criticism can come in, but this squad has been picked on merit, according to me. This squad is really amazing, and these players have been doing exceptional well, and they have got the experience already when it comes to that high level of football in Uganda, and they've played their best. These players are really good to go. You remember, Uganda will be in Group C, and Uganda will be having their first game against Algeria. You remember, it's not going to be an easier thing for Uganda to play against North African countries. It has been really something very hard for Uganda players to actually to make their way through when it comes to playing countries from the north. And Uganda will start the game up against Algeria. This game will be at 8 p.m. in Group C, and it will be played on 4th of August next month. Just next month, like 2 weeks, the games will kick off. And after that, Uganda will be playing up against Guinea. The game will be at 8 p.m. as well. And then Uganda will play Niger. And then South Africa will be hosting Uganda in the last game. In there, all the Uganda games will be at 8 p.m. East African time. Really amazing. And if you look at the groups that Uganda is in, it's not really an easy group. South Africa, Algeria, Niger is kind of the only team that I think Uganda might have an upper hand. Guinea, as usual, has been so hard for Uganda to beat, but playing at the home soil, I think, will add something very tangible for the the Queens team that plays their trade for the Chan team in there. Let's talk about Calvary Football Club. They have been called up to go and play in Ethiopia. This is one of the biggest things that we have seen. We have seen Ontopaka Football Club going abroad to play continental football matches. They have never crossed the borders, yes, but they have big games at Nampole. They played against Gor Mahia they played against Simpa. This is not the biggest one for Calvary Football Club. I think this is where the players, this is where the management really needed to look into this thing critically. Taking Calvary Football Club to the next level is not an easy thing. And remember, they have been called up by their sponsors. Remember, their sat is being manufactured in Ethiopia, and it's manufactured by a company called Gofere. And this is the very company that has called Calvary Football Club to go in and play in this Pre-Season tournament. Remember, this is not just an ordinary tournament. This is a tournament that gathers teams around the continent, general Africa, big teams that have got deals with Gofere, who are the sponsors for these clubs, who are the sponsors of the equipment for these teams. So, Calvary Football Club has been called up. Remember, this team has been playing in big league for a number of years. That's the reason why they have not been called. So, they've not attained their promotion at that higher level. That's the reason as to why they have kind of regarded them. They've not given them the priority to come and play in this tournament. And this tournament is set to kick off on the mid of August, roughly on the 15th or on the 14th of August next month. That's when Calvary Football Club will be playing in what we call this Pre-Season tournament. It's called the Cup in Ethiopia. And we know Ethiopia being very hot when it comes to weather. I don't know how Calvary Football Club will be important to adapt to the atmosphere in Ethiopia. Of course, here in West Nile, we're in a tropical area. The climate is kind of moderate. It changes, the pressure rises, but in Ethiopia generally, it's really very hot. And remember, these games will be played actually at Dire Dawa International Stadium, one of the biggest stadiums that we do have got in Ethiopia. And this is where Calvary Football Club will be playing in. I think this is something that is very, very much positive for me. Of course, it's something which is very big for someone like Joe Gaddafi, who has just got an opportunity to play, actually, to work with the team as a CEO. Something really amazing that Calvary Football Club is taking forward in. But this tournament comes at a time when I expect Calvary Football Club to be busy in the transfer market. Are they going to leave their actual technical team behind? Are they going to leave the CEOs, OAs, the scouts behind, or the agents behind to see that they needed to sign players here in Uganda to see that this team stays put in the Southern Uganda Premier League? I don't think that they have got that potential of signing players from abroad. You can't sign players from DR Congo. You can't sign players from Kenya to come and play for you here. So I thought the priority for Calvary Football Club for now is to see that they need to identify the talent that we do have got in Uganda here. Players who have got the Southern Uganda Premier League experience. Players who understand situations here in West Nile. It's not really easy to run a club. Yes, I know that one. But this one comes with an opportunity. If Calvary Football Club goes far into this competition, that's when they can have an upper hand. They can even come home with some big amount of money. Remember, the Ethiopian currency has got that value. So, calling this team and go for being the sponsor of their sats or as the jerseys, really, it's going to be something very tangible in there. So, it's not going to be some more. But the biggest things that the Calvary Football Club will need to do, transfer-wise, transport-wise, and it comes with the sponsor for some of the players. Really, something that I think we really need to take positively. I think this is the opportunity where we really needed not to let down, because opportunities come once. This is where you need to go in and do your best for the team. Make us proud. Calvary Football Club, they have been crowned the big champions after winning it, even not against any ordinary team, but against one of the traditional teams that we do have got in Western in the name of the Black Angels. Olaboro with that one goal at the Casino Stadium down in Midigo. Really something to talk about, and that will remain in the history books for the team. Attaining promotion after beating one of the biggest clubs in what we call a Western derby is not something easy. And for starters, Calvary Football Club started way back in 2008, and they are commonly known as the Horizon Stars. This is for those who doesn't know much about Calvary Football Club, and I know they are those who are following us from the diaspora. They will like to know the in-depth details about this team, the background of this team. This team plays in Midigo, down in Yumbe district. That's found in northern Uganda. That's generally in West Nile, and that is where Calvary Football Club they played in. And they are regarded as one of the biggest clubs that we have got in West Nile in terms of talent and development. Remember, that's their priority. I'm quite sure Calvary Football Club won't be that team that will keep hold of players. Once a player is talented, the player has got the exposure to go. Calvary will definitely let that player go in. That's their agenda. Like I said, they were started way back in 2008. Remember, in 2012-2013 season, this still got me when I was even still very young, and I was still doing something that you can't believe. Those who are watching me, you can't believe that. And in 2012-2013 season, this is when Calvary Football Club attained promotion into the third tier of Uganda League. That's the West Nile Regional League. That was way back in 2012-2013 season, and they stayed for around 7 seasons in the regional league. That's Team Calvary Football Club for you. And then after that, in 2020, that's when Calvary Football Club attained their promotion to the second tier of Ugandan football. That's kind of semi-professional. That's where you begin to give corners for players. That's when you begin to pay your technical team. That's when you begin to pay players. That's when Calvary attained promotion in big league. Not really an easy thing since 2020. Then, just of recent, Calvary Football Club 2024-2025 season, they attained their promotion into the top tier of Ghana League. That's the time Ghana Premier League, whereby they managed to go past a team in the name of the Black Tenders in a West Nile derby, beating them by a goal to nil. Remember, they finished at the top of the log. They were given the new branded for a big trophy, which looks more of a drum. It kind of have got big concerns from the public. Everyone thought that this trophy is supposed to be for the drum team, but people opted to give it for the big league. And it was really interesting that Calvary Football Club for the first time managed to win that. We have seen Ontopraka winning the big league trophy. We have seen Ruahili Udin Western winning the big league trophy. Even Paida Blackian to win the big league trophy. Really something that every club here have actually touched. So, how about the Juman Town Castle? How about clubs like Mbara Boys? How about the Rua Airfields of this world, the Dramachakos? Of recent, we've seen Nebisend Football Club also up in their game. They will play in the second tier of Ghana Football, the big league. Are they going to cleanse it for us as West Nile? West Nile is known of cleansing records when it comes to winning trophies. Ontopraka has done that, Calvary has done that, Paida has done that. So it's up to the team in the names of Nebisend Football Club to see that they really needed to win this, such that we become one of the biggest regions to talk about when it comes to football. We all know West Nile is not a football, and that's one of the biggest things that I felt like I should let you know. I don't know when Calvary Football Club will be setting off, because the days are really going so much. So they really needed to go at least a week earlier in Ethiopia to see that they really need to adapt into the environment. You all know, going to some area new, it can even have a negative actual feeling about you. You can easily get sick. You can get stressed. Fatigue can even hit you on the way because of these long distances. So I think the team really needed to do a lot when it comes to going away in there. Remember, these games will be playing away in Ethiopia, and it's called the Dire Cup. And Calvary Football Club will be playing in this for the first time in the club's history. One of the biggest things to talk about. Let's go up international and talk about one of the biggest things that I actually introduced you to earlier on. It's all about Pep Guardiola saying that he will leave Manchester City, and after leaving Manchester City, he will have what we call a sabbatical leave. Remember, Pep Guardiola, whenever he comes to Manchester City, since 2016, Pep Guardiola has been winning trophies for them. And it was only last season that Pep Guardiola went trophyless for Manchester City, something that Pep Guardiola thought that it was really something that affected him. And he attributed that to injuries that actually struck the team. Really, that was really a point to talk about. Pep Guardiola came to England. He dominated that for 4 consecutive seasons. Something that was done way back by the likes of Sir Alex Ferguson. Something not easy. But Pep Guardiola came with his ideology, with his dynamics, with his tactical approach per game. He did that on exceptional level very well with Manchester City. Something that I thought it was worth appreciating from Pep Guardiola. And as I talk, Pep Guardiola is remaining with a 2 years contract with Manchester City. He's finishing this season, 2025-2026 season, then 2026-2027 season. That's when his contract with Manchester City will come to an end. That's Pep Guardiola for you. And he said that after the end of his 2 years contract with Manchester City, he will have what we call a 15-year leave from football. And he says he wants to focus on building himself and again building his body. I know what he means. Maybe football is kind of a strengthening factor to Pep Guardiola. It's the $1 million business that I asked myself. Of course, we all know the press is always there from the fans, the board. You see, the players sometimes can even stress you. That's one thing that Pep Guardiola said. He really wanted to have a leave after Manchester City contract. Remember, he still has got 2 years contract remaining with Manchester City. Are we seeing Pep Guardiola coming up again and wins the Premier League, wins the Champions League? See, these are the things that he has been appreciated for. And one of the biggest things that Pep Guardiola needs to be appreciated of is he has worked with so many clubs, and in all these clubs, Pep Guardiola has never gone manager silverware. At the Barcelona Football Club, he was a player for Barcelona Football Club. He won trophies for them. At Bayern, he also won. See, Pep Guardiola have got that serial advantage that is following him. Wherever he goes, Pep Guardiola wins trophies. I was personally thinking that he tried in Germany. He has never tried in France. He has never tried in Italy. This is where he really needed to go in, because he has tried here in England already. Go somewhere, try also, dominate. He is still very young, and he says after Manchester City, he really needed to rest. We all know he has earned the money already for his family. And that's something that everyone really needed to appreciate Pep Guardiola for. And he's known of his actually ball-based possession. And his tactics is always very unique. And if you're not technical enough, you can't manage a coach in the hands of Pep Guardiola. So, one thing that everyone needs to do is that we really need to appreciate Pep Guardiola. Just because he has been someone who is very loyal to anyone. Personally, if I want to work with Pep Guardiola, he can accept. Of course, if I say, I want you to train me, I can work with Pep Guardiola. He's always a free man. That's the advantage with him. And he always stick to his principles. If you don't follow his principles, that's when you can get into longer cases with Pep Guardiola. Raheem Sterling, Riyad Mahrez, who criticized him of rich and just. You see, these are players that Pep Guardiola wants to be authoritative of them. And really amazing that he said that he wants to take a sabbatical leave after his contract with Manchester City. So, let's talk about the individuals that Pep Guardiola has worked with after in his footballing career. And he has transformed them to someone else. And these are people who are now at their own. One of them is Mikel Arteta. Remember, Mikel Arteta, who worked as the assistant coach with Pep Guardiola at Manchester City, has been someone highly rated right now in Europe when it comes to the youngest upcoming coaches. And Mikel Arteta has produced something that everyone thinks is something that is worth appreciating. He came at the Arsenal Football Club, he won for them the FA Cup. That's the only silverware that he has won. Yes, but he has transformed the team of Arsenal Football Club in terms of possession, in terms of attacking style. That's where Pep Guardiola have got. They always get adapted to Pep Guardiola's style of play. All these managers that have worked actually with him. So something that is really amazing that all these actually coaches have learned from Pep Guardiola. In terms of player development, they are as well doing that. We have seen Mikel Arteta doing that one actually at Arsenal with the likes of Ethan Nwari. He has promoted that one to become one of the regular figures for Arsenal Football Club. There's a new young star who is still 15 years old. 15 years old. And he was really very influential for Arsenal Football Club against Newcastle United in the Pre-Season game that they played. That's the reason whereby Arsenal won it. That guy was really amazing. And Real Madrid is really talking about him. He's called Matt Dower. This is the guy that Real Madrid is talking about him. Still 15 years old. He plays more of an attacking midfielder. Very young. And if you have seen Martin Odegaard, you have watched that young guy. Very, very exceptional. And I think with Mikel Arteta, Arsenal has got a lot of things to do. Let's talk about one of the coaches that worked with Pep Guardiola before. And this is someone who actually played under Pep Guardiola at the Barcelona Football Club. At Bayern Munich. That's Xabi Alonso. And he has been a serial winner with Bayer Leverkusen. You remember, at Bayer Leverkusen, he dominated it for a season. He went unbeaten. Only that he lost it to Atalanta in the Europa League finals, whereby Abdallah Lukman raises to the occasion and was a difference maker in that game. And Xabi Alonso has established himself to one of the highly rated actual coaches right now. And the current football, the current idea in football is also actually what he's trying to come up with. You remember, he's coming up with his own philosophy. He's coming with his own formation. And remember, he is deploying back three. That's something that few coaches can do. And Xabi Alonso is currently doing that. And he's emphasizing about speed. He's emphasizing about passing accuracy at Real Madrid. He's doing that actually extremely well. And a number of clubs talked about him. Manchester United talked about him. Liverpool talked about him. Really something that everyone needs to talk about. Let's talk about former Barcelona coach in the name of Xavi. Xavi worked with Pep Guardiola as a player as well at Barcelona Football Club. And he has recently managed that team of Barcelona Football Club. And as that, this is the club that Xavi has kind of managed. That clearly says that Pep Guardiola is someone who is really unique. And with the Barcelona Football Club, Xavi has kind of introduced that kind of football. It's only that the Barcelona hierarchy never gave him that actual opportunity to actually assemble his own team. He was on pressure because Barcelona hierarchy never wanted Real Madrid to dominate the Spanish League consistently like that. And this is someone who got very huge potential actually of transforming the team of Barcelona Football Club. And what Hans Flick is offering now is kind of different from what the DNA of Barcelona Football Club needs. That tic-tac is not actually what Hans Flick is currently doing with Barcelona Football, but Xavi was doing that one exceptionally well for Barcelona. And he plays similarly like how Pep Guardiola plays. That's Xavi for you. And he is one of the people who worked with Pep Guardiola. And they have really come into his ranks. That's Pep Guardiola for you. So, one of the biggest is Enzo Maresca, who was working with Pep Guardiola at Manchester City. Remember, why he started from the junior team of Manchester City. That's Enzo Maresca for you, before he was promoted into the senior setup, whereby he was assistant Pep Guardiola also. From there, it was Leicester City who kind of spotted him and signed him. For Leicester City, he only spent a year with Leicester City. He employed something very unique. That thing actually attracted interest from several other clubs. Manchester United was actually talking about him before Chelsea lowered his services. That's something that is often appreciated for Pep Guardiola. With Leicester City, he managed to win the championship, trophy. Not only that, he also won something which is very tangible and recognized worldwide. That's the Europa League Conference League with Man City. And then the biggest was when he won what we call the FIFA Club World Cup. That's rated on the Chelsea Football Club. And most of the coaches who have worked with Pep Guardiola are more of serial winners. So Pep Guardiola just needed to be appreciated for that, in my own view. Something that I thought we really needed to give flowers for Pep Guardiola. And if you don't appreciate Pep Guardiola for what he has done, you are not really someone who has never watched football. And he has been regarded as one of the best coaches in the world's football right now. I rate him over Sir Alex Ferguson. I rate him over Jurgen Klopp. That's according to me. Your view might be different. You understand? So Pep Guardiola is 24 years old, and he has won 18 trophies with Manchester City, 6 Premier League titles, and the Champions League. And in these 18 trophies, there are other small trophies that I cannot mention due to time factor. Really, we really needed to appreciate that guy in the names of Pep Guardiola. And let's go to transfers, and we talk much of the transfers. One of the latest that I'm getting indicates that Nottingham Forest have agreed a deal to sign Dan Doe to join them from Bologna Football Club down in Italy. And this guy has been so exceptional well, and they've signed him to be a direct replacement for Anthony Langa, who has crossed over to Newcastle United. I think this is something that everyone really needed to actually look into. That in there, he is really very, very aggressive, and playing for Manchester City, I think, is going to be something everyone really needed to appreciate. So something that I think has got one of the biggest things. Letting a player go, then sign this player at a cheaper price is something that is worth appreciating from Nottingham Forest. I think Nuno Espirito Santo assembled something very unique, and he knows this team has got the potential. If you have got the opportunity of going out, to go. One of them is Gibbs White, who is said to cross over to Tottenham Hotspurs, and Anthony Langa has crossed over to Newcastle United, who will be playing the Champions League football. That's something very, very exceptional for Nuno Espirito Santo. Gibbs White, if he crosses over to Spurs, he will be playing in the Champions League also. That's an upgrade from Nuno Espirito Santo, and signing this guy in the names of Dan Doe. He has been exceptional. He's not injury prone. He's very aggressive on the ball, quick on the ball, and quick on decision making. And he'll be something that should be watched keenly in the Premier League. Let's talk about one of the biggest things that's happening in Europe currently. It's all about Benjamin Sesko's story. And the latest we're getting indicates that there is Manchester United, Newcastle United, who are vying for this guy's services. And this guy has not been spotted by these clubs. Arsenal talked about him, Liverpool talked about him, and here we go. The price that Newcastle United are saying that they are ready to pay any money that RB Leipzig will be demanding for this guy, Benjamin Sesko. And Benjamin Sesko did say that he is ready to play for Manchester United. He prefers Manchester United over Newcastle United. Is it that he will go for Champions League football other than playing for his heart? His heart wants to play for Manchester United, who will never be playing in European nights. Manchester United just be playing domestic football. Remember, they have signed a number of players that have costed them around £133 million. They have signed a player in the names of Matis Kuna from Wolverhampton Wanderers. They have signed Brian Bell from Brentford for £62.5 million plus add-ons. Then Diego Theo, they want to sign a defender. So here comes the priority now for United. Newcastle United has got a lot to do when it comes to ruin the service of this guy. Of course, the Manchester United chiefs, the hierarchy at United, and Ruben Amorim thinks this is the guy that he really needed to actually add into that team to see that he adds competition to Dr. Zaxi. He adds competition to Rasmus Holland, who was very worthy for last season. But remember, when Haaland came into that team of Manchester United, he was really thriving very well for a team in the name of Atalanta. But when he comes in under Erik Ten Hag, he started showing glimpses of being a natural number 9. But when Ruben Amorim came in, things started actually diminishing for him. He was not actually having that actual opportunity to find the back of the net. Remember, he only scored 3 times last season. That's Rasmus Holland for you. Very wasteful. And Manchester United going for someone in the caliber of Benjamin Sesko, I think, will be something very good. Early, he's okay. He can score using the left, can score using the right. Something that I think is worth that he really wanted to play for Manchester United, the Manchester United hierarchy. I think if they sign him, he can add some value to that team of Manchester United. It's not an easy thing playing for Manchester United because Manchester United as a club has got a that identity, and every player wants to play for Manchester United. Newcastle United outside is one of the biggest clubs that we do have got in Europe right now, and they have got the players. And one of the latest players is in the names of Alexander Isak, who is set to cross, who is kind of attracted interest from Liverpool Football Club. And Liverpool are saying that they are ready to pay the money that Newcastle United will be actually putting or demanding for him. And it's been alleged that the money that Newcastle United thinks should be given for this guy is around 150 million pounds, and Liverpool is willing to offer 130 million pounds for this guy. They have already acquired the services of a player in the name of Hugo Ekitike already, one of the biggest players that they have signed last season. Last season he was really doing amazing for Eintracht Frankfurt, and he has got that height. So I don't know why most of these clubs are going for strikers who are kind of very tall. Alexander Isak is very tall. Hugo Ekitike is very tall. Haaland at Manchester is very tall. Rasmus Holland, Victor Joker at Arsenal Football Club is very tall. Something that the coaches are looking at these tall players. Are they looking at the height advantage? Are they looking at the body? Is the $1 million question that I'm still asking myself. But this guy will really be something that Liverpool, if he goes off to Liverpool, I'm telling you, the project is going to be something that Liverpool will live to remember, and they will live to appreciate. Hugo Ekitike, Alexander Isak in the team of Liverpool Football Club, something that will be so much to be talking about. And playing for Liverpool, I think, is something that is really good to talk about in there. But all in all, Luis Diaz is set to cross over to a team called Bayern Munich, and Liverpool needs to get actually a replacement for him. And they already talked about Mark Fofana, who plays for Lyon, and there are talks about Liverpool also going for one of the players. He's still very young, and I think Liverpool, if they go for him, it will be something very interesting. Every club wants to raid RB Leipzig, and Liverpool is already talking about their winger in the names of Antonio Nusa. These are the young stars that Liverpool wants to sign. Say 20 years old, with Luis Diaz going on, and with the death of Diego Jota, Liverpool, I think, I've got a lot of things still to do when it comes to signing players up front. And if they sign all these projects, I think you will never see Liverpool Football Club going back into the transfer market to sign players. Remember, there was a season they went management signing a single player. So the money that Liverpool actually is spending currently right now in the transfer market clearly tells you that they are going to be a team that is going to be not all that actually spending money for like that. They are going to be a team that is going to be there, sign players right now for the future, and then allow them to settle. Give them time, 2 years, don't sign players. That's what Liverpool is trying to do. Something really very amazing that everyone is talking about Liverpool. At the sign these players, only that they really needed to dominate the Premier League. Of course, they won it recently. That's the $1 million question that everyone is currently asking about Liverpool. Let's go to PSG. One of the latest that I'm getting indicates that PSG are monitoring a player in the name of Ibrahim Konate, and they are saying that they also wanted to hijack this deal. Remember, Real Madrid has been talking about this guy for a season now, and he's left with their only 1 year contract. That's 12 years contract right now. One season for Ibrahim Konate. And going back to France, whereby that's his nation, that's his nationality, that's France. Of Parc des Princes. And PSG are looking at him as a direct replacement for Marquinhos. Remember, Marquinhos is aging, and Ibrahim Konate is still very young. He can offer for them something. But crossing over to Real Madrid, I think he will be having that competition still at Real Madrid. It's only that he stays put at Liverpool Football Club, or else he crosses over to a team in the names of PSG. Remember, the project that they have currently living in France is really something that every player would like to enjoy. Of course, every player wants to play in beautiful football. Every player wants to have that actual freedom of winning trophies. At Liverpool Football Club, you'll be limited to winning trophies. I'm saying you at Liverpool. When you still have Arsenal Football Club, when you still have Chelsea, when you still have Manchester City, you'll be limited. But at Real Madrid, the competition will be there. Really, too many are this one they are there. Ascensions of this one they're still in the team of Real Madrid. Already too many of this one they're still into that team of Real Madrid. So something that I think Ibrahim Konate really needed to value his actual his future first before he made this decision. He had talked to Liverpool Football Club, but they went silent. Whereby he got the information that he has agreed. Every party has gone quiet yet. But at Real Madrid, I don't think that he has got that potential future, because they have already signed a potential replacement already in the name of Dean Hussein from the Premier League, Antonio Rudiger from the Premier League. I think this is where Ibrahim Konate, if he doesn't commit himself at Liverpool Football Club, he really needs to go to France and play for Paris Saint-Germain, one of the powerhouses in France in there. Something that I think is worth appreciating from this youngster in there. And let's talk about Chelsea Football Club. The latest I'm getting indicates that Chelsea Football Club are saying that they are going to finalize deals for two players. That's Hato Joral, who plays for the team in the name of Ajax down in Dutch, in Netherlands. And he has established himself to be one of the regular stars in the team of Ajax. And he is still very young, 21 years old. And his coming to that team will be something that I think will affect that competition at Chelsea Football Club to some extent. Of course, he is not injury prone, and he has got that versatility with him. He can play in that centre back position. He can play in that left hand side of the pitch. Marc Cucurella is going to be one of the candidates affected if he comes in at that centre back position. Fofana, who has been inconsistent. David Coyle, who has been inconsistent. You have a player in the names of this player that they signed on loan, Toshan Adarabio. You see, this youngster, if he comes into that team of Chelsea Football Club, if Chelsea Football Club entrusts Chalobah and Zara Hato, I think they can offer something very special for Chelsea Football Club at the back. When you have a concrete midfield protecting the back, when you have the likes of Moses Caicedo, Roman Lavia, and someone in the name of Enzo Fernandez in that middle of the pack, I think Chelsea Football Club will be a team to watch. With the mess that Chelsea Football Club had got in the previous season, and Enzo Moresca trying to release the dead wood, I think Chelsea Football Club will be a team to watch, and we yet want to watch the space, and it will be interesting to see that Chelsea Football Club really need to sign this guy. Of course, he's still very young, and they have already agreed personal terms with the player already. What's only remaining is club-to-club talk with the Ajax. And it's more imminent that Chelsea Football Club will be signing this guy. And one of the latest players that Chelsea is talking about is a player in the names of Xavi Simons, who played for RB Leipzig, and he plays for Netherlands national team. And he has been a player talked about recently just, and he has got that versatility in him. He doesn't play one position. He can play for that number 10 role. He can play for that on the flanks, left, right. He can play even at that number, in that number 9 role. He can play for you very well in there. That's Xavi Simons for you. And we're also saying that Chelsea are closing. They're almost sealing this deal. Expect Chelsea Football Club to sign these 2 players I'm talking about. That's Xavi Simons and a player in the names of Gerard. These are really players. If Chelsea Football Club can add into that team, I think Chelsea Football Club will be a team to watch. They just needed to keep the rhythm flying. They really needed to keep the consistent, the momentum just have to be at the peak, and you'll be expecting something good in the team of Chelsea Football Club. Let's talk about Arsenal before we talk about Manchester City. Before I wind down the show, and the letter there, I'm getting indicates that Arsenal Football Club are set to have talks with Crystal Palace for their winger in the names of Brett Eze. Personal terms within Arsenal and Brett Eze has been raised. So what's only remaining is Mikel Arteta convincing Crystal Palace that giving this guy to them is the priority for now. Of course, at Arsenal Football Club, I think the project seems to be something clicking very well for Mikel Arteta. And when Andrea Bata, the sporting director of Arsenal Football Club, wants a player, it has to work. He really needed Victor Jokeray. It worked. They've given him that iconic jersey number 14 at the Arsenal Football Club, done by Thierry Henry way back. So when this youngster comes in, it will be something interesting. And with the trickery that Brett Eze puts forth, he has got the eye for goal. He can assist. He's not like Martinelli. So this team of Arsenal, everyone, I'm telling you, you need to watch this team. In case they sign this guy in the name of Brett Eze, it looks eminent that this guy will be crossing over to Arsenal. And there will be something worth to watch. With the young stars, now with their striker, Arsenal will be banging goals, Stefan, I'm telling you. And they are trying to submit around £60 million for the services of Brett Eze. I think if he comes into that team of Arsenal, the balance will be real. And with the acquisition of a new player at the centre back in the name of Christian Masquera, and with the military setup, Matthias, they've let it go. Jorginho, Matthias, they've let it go play in the names of Thomas Partey. I think at the middle of the park, Arsenal still got players in there. Christian Nogard has got the Premier League experience. They can arise there to back up. So Arsenal Football Club is really a team to watch. But I think they really needed to give a player in the names of Martin to be made time, because he's going to struggle in the English Premier League for a moment. 10 games he may struggle, but I think at the end of that, he may establish himself to be one of the best holding midfielders in the English football. That's a player in the names of Martin to be made for you. He's really a good player. But I think because of the intensity and the physicality of English football, he will have to adapt. But I think Arsenal has got the other player, Declan Rice, can play in that position. And that's when Mikel Arteta will bring back a player in the names of Mikel Merino to come and play in the middle, that number 8 role. I think the chemistry between Mikel Merino and Martin Zubimendi worked very well in Spain. And we're going to see whether they can copy that chemistry and paste it here, in England and for Arsenal in the English Premier League. So that will be something that everyone should be watching seriously. But I think Arsenal is a team to watch, and every bookmaker is talking about them, and they're saying that this is now the perfect time that they really needed to have what to call the Premier League in their books. The title in their books, something that I think is worth appreciating. Let's talk about Manchester City before I call it a creating here. The latest I'm getting in the case that Manchester City are hoping to renew the contract of their holding midfield in the names of Rodri. Remember, Rodri, last season, he really suffered a very serious injury. Achilles knee injury. That's one of the worst injuries that every player would never want to actually sustain. Once you get that, you'll be sidelined for long. We have seen Manchester United's Lisandro Martinez suffering because of that. And the Ballon d'Or winner in the names of Rodri has been a subject of that. And he is set to come back from Manchester City. And Real Madrid are already talking about him. And they're saying that they are willing to give around £100 million for the services of Rodri. But this guy has been the heart for Manchester City. In his absence, we did see Manchester City struggle a lot in the Premier League. That was the reason why Manchester City last season went minus the trophy. And Pep Guardiola is saying that he wants to make this guy to be the second highest paid player at Manchester City. Remember, the highest paid player at Manchester City is Erling Braut Haaland. He is the highest paid player at Manchester City. So, Real Madrid with their money, I think Pep Guardiola, with the relationship that he has got with Rodri, he is not really going to allow him to leave this team of Manchester City and go and play elsewhere. That's a player in the names of Rodri for you. So talented player, and he has been one of the iconic players for Manchester City in there. So really, that we really need to give flowers for him, and he has just won himself the Ballon d'Or of Christians. That actually speaks volume about a player in the names of Rodri. And he has been one of the biggest players, and he established himself to be a regular starter for his national team, that's Spain. And playing for a team like Real Madrid, I think, can have some advantage for him, but I don't think with the project that Xabi Alonso is having at Real Madrid, does it need an established player in the names of Rodri. Of course, Madrid is still under transition. We have seen them transforming from back four to back three, sometimes back five. It's going to be something very hard for Rodri to go in and adapt. Be where you are, establish yourself, and you are subject of now being the second best paid player at Manchester City. Something that I think he really needed to get hooked at Manchester City. Viewers, that does it for our evening sports roundup section here. This is where we give you exclusive analysis in the game of sports. Here, we never go club to club. We never leave any club. If I manage to leave your club out, please forgive me. And tomorrow, we shall be giving you some details about your club in there. And my name is Snr GEROH, the host of the show. This show is proudly sponsored by Sabiri Rama Global Ventures Limited. They are the biggest and the sole sponsors of this show. They are located within town. Just look at the offices of Sabiri Global Ventures Limited. You'll be sorted with everything that you need. And they always give us the energy, the vibe, and everything that is really needed in the game of sport to see that all the sporting activities are covered for you. All the news is covered for you. It's courtesy of Sabiri Rama Global Ventures Limited. I'm out of here. Bye-bye. Till tomorrow. And remember, we shall be bringing for you the live commentary of the final between the primary school games in Nairobi City down at Mvara. Tomorrow, here on your TV screens. Just stay hooked to Sunrise TV. I'm out of here. Bye-bye.
We celebrate our nation, our future, Uganda, and believe in the beautiful game of football in Uganda. We believe in our mother body. Fufa, Fufa, when the boys and girls aspire to become stars, of the Uganda cranes and the crested cranes and the sun cranes. Come on, our fans, our gallant fans, our sponsors, our dear government to support the beautiful game. One tribe, one family, one religion, one nation. It is our game, it's our country, it's our joy, it's our nation. The past and present stars, the fallen and living heroes, and referee.